The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. hails the Philippine Air Force for upholding the territorial integrity of the Philippines and safeguarding its maritime zones. 5 more suspects in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel de Gamo formally recant their sworn statements in today's preliminary investigation. The Department of Tourism scraps their contract with DDB Philippines, the advertising agency behind the controversial Love the Philippines tourism video campaign. And Twitter owner Elon Musk announces a new policy on limiting the number of tweets that users can view per day.
President Ferdinand.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, the 3rd of July, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. hailed the Philippine Air Force for upholding the territorial integrity of the Philippines and safeguarding its maritime zones. Nel Maribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. urged the Philippine Air Force, or PAF, to become resilient given what he called geopolitical challenges in the region. According to the President, the PAF will be more important than ever because of the country's challenges.
The days ahead will not be easy and will demand every ounce of our strength and our resilience. The winds of change signal geopolitical challenges around our region and other parts of the world that as yet affect us. The Philippine Air Force Maritime Air Patrol missions are thus essential in upholding our territorial integrity and safeguarding Philippine maritime zones.
The Commander-in-Chief also valued the PAF's efforts to support the Philippine Army and other law enforcement agencies in upholding internal security, making the community safe from various threats. He assured the government will continue to strengthen the armed forces of the Philippines through acquisitions under the modernization program.
I reiterate that this administration is committed to strengthening the armed forces, including the Philippine Air Force, through the acquisitions under the AFP modernization program.
PBBM also reminded PAF to remain united in purpose, indomitable in spirit, and unwavering in its dedication to protect the Philippines and the Filipino people. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the Philippine National Police, or PNP, are tracking down 5 persons of interest behind the shooting incident that wounded a photojournalist Joshua Abiad and his family. But PNP spokesperson Police Colonel Jean Fajardo did not divulge additional information on the suspects but said they are all professionals as seen in the CCTV footage.
Ito pong mga nagtangkang mag-ambush po dito sa ating kapatid sa media po ay this involves a professional group. So nag-iingat po tayo sa pagbibigay ng information.
Colonel Fajardo adds the PNP are affirmative that they will solve the case this week. It can be recalled that last Thursday, a Abiad family was heading home on board an SUV when they were ambushed by 2 unidentified gunmen at Corumi Corner, Gazan Streets in Barangay Masambong, Quezon City. On the said shooting incident, 5 were wounded, including Joshua Abiad. The camp of suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Teves Jr. believes that there is no evidence now that will link the legislator to the killing of Governor Roel de Gamo. Dante Amento tells us why.
5 more suspects in the killing of Governor Ruel Digamo formally recanted their sworn statements in today's preliminary investigation over the murder complaints against suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnulfo Teves Jr. They are Joric Labrador, Benji Rodriguez, Winrich Esturiz, Eulogio Gunion Jr., and John Louis Gunion. 5 other suspects recanted their statements last week.
Pinasumpaan ng panel ngayong araw na to pamamagitan ng online via Zoom at inaffirm naman ng 5 yung kanilang mga statements.
Hence, Teves' lawyers doubt what will be the evidence now against their client that can be used in filing cases in court.
As we know, without testimonial evidence directly linking Congressman Teves, without the confession, ay mahina po ang kaso. Ngayon, malalaman natin kung gaano ka-independent ang panel kung notwithstanding the 10 recantations at no other evidence linking Congressman Teves.
Teves' camp added they are evaluating whether to file a counter-affidavit on the next hearing July 17.
Kung sa tingin po namin, base po dito sa isang karton na dokumentong isinabmit namin, counter-affidavit po ba ang pa-file namin o ibang pleading?
Meanwhile, in a recent statement, the DOJ said they are not judges and it is the court that will have the final decision on the case.
The Department of Justice is not a judicial or quasi-judicial body that performs judicial or quasi-judicial functions. The Department of Justice is under the executive branch, which performs executive functions. So we must afford the panel of prosecutors a free hand to handle the case under preliminary investigation.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
In other news, teen actor Awra Briguela and 7 others have been formally charged in court for the incident that occurred at a bar last Thursday in Poblacion, Makati City. The original 4 cases against Briguela, which were physical injury, alarm and scandal, disobedience to authority, and direct assault, have been reduced to slight physical injury and simple disobedience to a person in authority. The case has been raffled to the Metropolitan Trial Court Branch 66, but no hearing date has yet been set. Last Saturday night, Awra was freed after the court allowed a 6,000 peso bail.
Admit naman sa prosecutor's office yung affidavit complaint ng ating complainant, and then witnesses, and then meron tayong bigay na mga CCTV footages dun sa rambol na yun nung nangyari.
Maynilad is now assessing the possible impact of water supply reduction from Angat Dam. Since July 1, the allocation is at 50 cubic meters per second from 52 centimeters from the previous month. MWSS earlier announced that around 630,000 connections might be affected. Maynilad said that they have improved leak repairs and constructed other water sources. The concessionaire assures the public that if water service interruption will be implemented, it would not be as wide as what happened last April.
Tama naman yung announcement ng MWSS. We're seeing na possible na 630,000 accounts pa rin yung maapektuhan. Pero since we're revisiting the supply sharing and we're looking for the best scheme na mababawasan yung epekto, posibleng mababa pa yan.
The NWRB is now assessing the water level of Angat Dam. In a few days, it will reach down the minimum operating level of 180 meters.
And for news abroad, thousands of people complained about accessing Twitter. This after owner Elon Musk implemented a new policy that limits the number of tweets users can view each day. Maven Carizo will give us the details live. Good evening, Maven.
Yes, Elsie, this weekend Twitter owner Elon Musk implemented a new policy to limit the number of tweets that users can view per day. Musk confirmed on Twitter that the reading limits he set are intended to address issues such as traffic problems, data escaping, and system manipulation caused by artificial intelligence companies like ChatGPT. He also added this is to encourage people to step away from their phones and spend time with family and friends. In a Saturday morning tweet, Elon Musk stated that a temporary limit would be 6,000 tweets per day for verified users, 600 tweets per day for unverified users, and 300 tweets per day for newly verified accounts. Rate limit exceeded. This is the message that users would see when they reach the limit, causing thousands of people to complain. Once users see this message, they are unable to view tweets for the rest of the day. Although this was considered relatively small, in comparison to Twitter's over 300 million global users, it has received significant backlash from thousands of individuals. Later, Musk tweeted that the limits would be raised to 10,000 tweets per day for verified users, 1,000 tweets per day for unverified users, and 800 tweets per day for newly verified accounts. He emphasized that this is a temporary measure and that the limits could potentially increase further in the future. Twitter is not the only social media platform that has announced measures to address the risk associated with the rapid advancements in the AI section. The organizations like Reddit have also implemented similar measures. Back to you, Elsie.
Thank you, Maven Carizo, reporting live from Australia. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Elsie. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Department of Transportation eyes partial operation of Calamba to Alabang route portion of the North-South Commuter Railway project by 2027. JP Nunez details why.
Earlier this morning, July 3, the Department of Transportation or DOTR led the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the North-South Commuter Railway project from Alabang, Muntinlupa to Calamba, Laguna. This portion of the project will connect Metro Manila to Laguna, serving as the southern portion. The project is co-financed by the Japan International Cooperation Agency or JICA and the Asian Development Bank. The contractors for the project will be Hyundai Engineering and Construction and the Donga Geological Engineering Company Limited. The construction of this portion of the project will cost nearly 74 billion pesos and is expected to take up to 58 months, which is almost 5 years. A total of 9 stations will be constructed, including Alabang, Muntinlupa, San Pedro, Pasita, Binyan, Santa Rosa, Cabuyao, Banlic, and Calamba. According to Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, while full operation is planned for 2029, partial operation may commence by 2027.
Sa 2027, yes, magkakaroon ng partial operations. Alabang to Calamba. Kaya ito yung inuna natin, no, para magkaroon ng partial operations.
The DOTR stated that they have already coordinated with other government agencies to assist informal settlers who might be affected by the construction in finding relocation sites.
Ang maganda dito, most of those who will be relocated in the same city, no? For example, dito sa Santa Rosa, yung mga maapektuhan, sa Santa Rosa rin sila, no? Sa Hin City, yung gano'n din sa Calamba, no? Siguro yung sa Alabang merong a few na maililipat sa another relocation site outside of Alabang.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, clarified that the deployment of first-time Filipino workers or new hires are still not allowed under Alert Level 2. Janice Inhente will tell us why.
Although the alert level status in Myanmar has been downgraded, Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA Undersecretary Eduardo de Vega stated that this applies only to Filipino workers who hold valid working visas for Myanmar. De Vega explained that certain areas in Myanmar are still experiencing tension and rebellion, which is why the alert level is not yet lifted. Instead, it has been downgraded from alert level 4 to alert level 2. Under Alert Level 2 or the restriction phase, there will be no new deployment of overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, and only those with existing employment contracts are allowed to return to the concerned country.
Mapayapa yung selected areas. Kaya po alert level 2 restricted. Hindi to safe lahat kasi may mga lugar na may may rebellion pa. Yun po yung level ngayon, alert level 2. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nandun na, may working visa, legal na nagtatrabaho doon, papayagan natin bumalik. Pero wala pa rin yung employment, yung bagong contracts, bagong hindi.
According to the DFA, there are currently more than 400 OFWs in Myanmar, while over 700 Filipinos were repatriated in July 2022 following the coup that occurred in Myanmar. The DFA stated that apart from Filipino workers in Myanmar who can now freely return to the Philippines and subsequently go back to Myanmar, those Filipinos who have been repatriated due to the coup are also allowed to return to their employment in Myanmar if they choose to do so. Janice Inhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The flow of pyroclastic density current, or PDC, originating from Mayon volcano has extended to a considerable length. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, this could also lead the agency to possibly recommend the evacuation of residents living within the 7 to 8 kilometer extended danger zone, even if Mayon volcano didn't erupt. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
If the lava flow continues to stretch out wide and reach the 6-kilometer boundaries in the south and southeast part of the Mayon volcano, the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, will recommend the evacuation of the residents living there. According to Dr. Paul Alanis of PHIVOLCS, with the presence of lava erosion and pyroclastic density current, or PDC, it is extremely dangerous for the residents to stay living within the 7 to 8 kilometer extended danger zone. This means that even if the Mayon volcano doesn't go into magmatic eruption or harmful explosion, the agency will still recommend an evacuation.
I have to point out po, hindi po buong 6 to 8 yun. 7 to 8, as pointed out with Doc Cedric. Yung dito lang sa south and southeast.
The evacuation will cover the city of Daraga, Legazpi City, and Santo Domingo. In the calculation of the agency this Friday, June 30, the PDC, or Uson, has reached 4 kilometers in the area of Basod Channel, which lasted for 5 minutes, running at 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. And if this evacuation happens, more than 20,000 families, or equivalent to 80,641 individuals, will be affected. In the past PHIVOLCS bulletin for the past 24 hours, they recorded 3 volcanic earthquakes, 295 rockfall events, and 2 dome and lava front collapse pyroclastic density current, while there are 962 tons of sulfur dioxide emission and 500 meters high of volcanic evaporation were also recorded in Mount Mayon. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
France is facing its 5th night of riots, which appear to be subsiding despite the police making hundreds of arrests within the past few days. Mavian Dog will tell us why.
Thousands of police have been deployed across several cities in France in an attempt to overcome one of the country's worst social riots. The riots were sparked by the fatal police shooting of 17-year-old Nahel Merzouk last Tuesday, June 27, which reignited the racially mixed urban community's complaints on police violence and racism. Nahel was then buried on Saturday. As of Sunday, July 2, police had made 49 arrests. This is already down from 719 on Saturday and 1,300 on Friday. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin stated that the violence on Sunday night's riot has lessened compared to other nights thanks to the security forces. However, the family of Paristown Mayor Vincent Jean Brun was attacked Saturday night, with his wife and child left injured after protesters rammed a car into their home and started a fire. Authorities condemned the attack, including French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne, who stated that such acts will not get unpunished. Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire also said in other reports that more than 700 shops, restaurants, and bank branches have been ransacked since Tuesday. 2,000 vehicles were also torched by the rioters. Meanwhile, President Emmanuel Macron has been scheduled to meet both Parliament House's leaders today and the mayors of 220 towns and cities affected by the riots on Tuesday. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Violent clashes between Sudan's army and paramilitary rapid support forces, or RSF, have intensified, marking the 12th week of the conflict in its capital and western regions. Unfortunately, there have been no visible attempts to resolve the situation peacefully. The fighting has led to air and artillery strikes, as well as small arms fire being heard in cities like Omdurman and Khartoum. This deepening conflict has created a humanitarian crisis and raised concerns about regional involvement. The RSF, which has a dominant presence in the capital, has been accused of looting and occupying houses. Amidst the escalating violence, the army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan called on young men to join the fight against the RSF. The army also posted pictures of alleged new recruits. The Sudanese Doctors Union accused the RSF of raiding the Shuhada hospital and killing a staff member, but the RSF denied the allegations. Furthermore, the unit combating violence against women reported 88 cases of sexual assault. Meanwhile, talks held in Jeddah, sponsored by the United States and Saudi Arabia, were suspended last month. Additionally, a mediation attempt by the East African countries received criticisms from the army. Although Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy expressed openness to mediation by the Turkey or Russia, no official efforts have been announced yet. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand. Good evening.
The Quezon City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit recorded 115 cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease, or HFMD, from January 1st to June 24, 2023. It is higher by 859.33%, or 103 compared to 2022. District 2 and District 4 had the highest number with 26 cases, while District 3 and District 6 have the lowest number at 12 cases. No HFMD-related deaths have been reported so far. Currently, the Quezon City Local Government Unit is continuously monitoring the number of HFMD patients in the city. For any questions and inquiries, please call the Quezon City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit hotlines. The Love Philippines campaign video has become controversial for using stock footage which is not from the Philippines. The Department of Tourism will initiate termination proceedings with the advertising agency responsible for the project. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
The Department of Tourism has decided to terminate their contract with DDB Philippines, the advertising agency behind the controversial Love the Philippines tourism campaign video. Despite the agency's public apology, the DOT will still continue its termination proceedings. The DOT might make another move as the controversy might cause a negative effect in the country's tourism. DDB Philippines has admitted that there were stock videos used in the new Law of the Philippines campaign video. For DDB, it's an unfortunate oversight for using non-original stock footage in the AVP, and that it should have undergone a deep screening process. Blogger Sas Sasot has questioned the stock videos used in the campaign video. Rice Terraces footage used in the video was from Tagalalang Ubod in Bali, Indonesia, while there was also a footage used taken from the Red Cup studio in Thailand. A desert video located near Dubai, United Arab Emirates was also used in the video, and a passenger plane in runway in Zurich, Switzerland. Meanwhile, Albay 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda is hopeful that immediate action will be done to address the issue before the budget hearing resumes in the Congress tomorrow. Senator Nancy Binay, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Tourism, hopes that the promotional video will be corrected. According to the senator, this might affect the image of the Philippines in the international community. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The AFP Cavaliers forced a do-or-die Game 2 in the semifinals of the UNTV Cup Executive Face-Off after defeating the PNP responders. Meanwhile, the Senate Sentinels have not yet allowed the Office of the President Executives to advance to the finals. Rina Villamor Camara reports.
After bringing down the Magics last Wednesday, it's now down to the last 4 teams here in the playoffs as the Senate Sentinels takes on the OP Executives and the PNP Responders fights against the AFP Cavaliers. A twice-to-beat advantage is with the PNP and Senate Sentinels for this game. The Sentinels had a complete lineup headed by the 3 senators who were present in action. On the other side, no presence of Mark Lapid for the OP Executives as MJ Bayang and DJ Palatao made their comeback after not seeing action in the previous matches. It was a fast-paced game at the start for the OP Executives with early points given by Sanyosa, Guevara, and Alvarez, accompanied by baskets from the Sentinels from Parawan, Villanueva, and Sangala. 18-17 at the end of the first quarter. Two free throws were given by Parawan at the first minute of the second quarter. The fight continues to be a close one with a tight defense given by Senate and the good post executed by the OP. Senate showed patience to drive the ball near the basket, giving them 2 points at a time to take away the lead in the first half of action, 38-29. To limit Malaga, limit rebounds and box out the guards of the Sentinels were a few reminders from Coach Fernandez from the halftime huddle. Apart from Alvarez, MJ Bayang went to the rescue by giving assists and scores to the OP team to be able to cut the lead to 5 points in the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. 51-all was the score in the last 8 minutes of the game, with baskets coming from Sanyosa and Bayang. Both teams exchanged baskets after baskets and went to another tie at 57-all in the last 2 minutes of action. The free throws given by Ray Malaga gave the Senate their edge at the final buzzer, 60-57. Ray Malaga and Janelle Sangalang were chosen as best players of the game. OP and Senate already saw action last April 23 where OP won by 5 points.
Napakasarap po ng pakiramdam na pumasok na po kami sa finals. Congratulations po sa OP dahil napakaganda po ng binigay nilang laban. Hanggang final few seconds of the game, anybody's ball game po.
Salamat sa pamunuan ng OPPMS for giving us the chance to be part of the team. Siyempre masaya ako, we reached the semifinals kasi yung last EFO, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, hindi naman kami pumasok ng semis.
Game, Coach Sonny Manukat and the boys force another game in the playoffs after taking advantage of the police force. Less Mesa first scored for the Cavaliers, but the PNP also started strong with the help of their ever-reliable scorer Joel De Mesa, 15-13 in favor of AFP at the end of the first quarter. Andal showed more fire in the second quarter with 5 points, giving the AFP the lead on the first half 38-30. PNP tried their best to catch up with the AFP, but they had a hard time bringing down the ball and scoring for the team. A jump ball was called at the 4 minutes and 44 seconds of action on the third quarter after a heated ball fight between the two teams. Right on time for the PNP to regroup, tighten their defense, and slow down the Cavaliers, bringing down the lead to 2 points only. Not even that drop in the lead stopped Yamamoto at the start of the fourth quarter. Points were given from both ends by De Mesa, Andal, and Gumiak, tying the scoreboard at 56 all in the last 7 minutes and 55 seconds of play. The fans were all cheering for their teams at the Novodesi Convention Center, that added boost for the two teams to give their all-out best in the remaining time. In the end, AFP's campaign to extend to another game in the playoffs succeeded, giving them that 5 points lead, 78-72. Captain Paul Anthony Yamamoto and Alfredo Andal were given the recognition as best players with 24 and 21 points respectively.
It's all about defense. Nag-prepare talaga kami doon sa mga players nila. Nanood kami ng mga games ng PNP. It's all about defense and preparation.
Nagkaroon ng foul trouble yung mga big namin eh. Medyo nahirapan kami sa ilalim. Maganda yung game plan ng AFP. Congrats sa kanila.
AFP is a game away from getting it to the finals round. Catch their next action on July 9 at the Paco Arena. Rina Villamor Camera, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the Global Prayer for Humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time through the social media accounts of Members Church of God International. And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God from the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 13. It says, "Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him." And those are the reasons behind the news, July 3, 2023, reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people, we give glory to God.